Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be all of the makeup I used up in 2019. So to some people this might be like nothing, and to other people this might be a lot. I'm pretty pleased with it. You might notice that there's some categories that there's no products in because I didn't use up any. Kanga really likes that I've used up some products. Can you not eat things? Maybe? You know, we're just going to deal with it. So I'm going to go into a little more detail, but this is like the overview of everything I used up. So let's just start right here. We have primers. I used up 10 primers this year. So the Touche Éclat Blur Primer, here, let me get a little closer. Sorry, Kanga. So I used up the Touche Éclat Blur Primer by YSL. That's probably my favorite primer I own, I've ever had, but it's gone now, and that's okay. You know, just because I like something, I find it really easy, like I'm really prone to kind of hoarding things I like and not wanting to use them, but I know that that's dumb, and so that's gone. I used up this Ipkin primer, which was not great. That one, Benefit Professional Pearl, not great. I like the Too Faced Hangover RX, especially in the winter. You can't really see. This is our view. You can see the snow. We live in Ohio. It was a lot snowier this morning. So I like winter. I like things that are really hydrating. The Baby Skin wasn't great. These are two Smashbox samples. This was the Radiance. This was the original primer. I know some people don't count samples. I always count samples in my use up as well as in my inventory. Just everywhere, I count everything as one. That's what's easiest for me. Some people don't like that, but I do, so there you go. I have two of the Hourglass Veil primers. I don't get the hype. And this one Dior primer, which was just fine. So again, 10 primers for the year. I think that's pretty good. Kanga, do you find that to be acceptable? Well, she doesn't know. She's going to think about it. Next, we have my foundation. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 foundations for the year, or BB cream. So I have 3 full size right here. We have the Dr. Jart. This one's an excellent one. The Maybelline Dream BB Fresh and the Pond's. I love the Pond's, though it has been discontinued. I'm just crawling around on my floor at the moment. So there's 4 of these Too Faced Born This Way samples. I don't really like them. This Clinique Chubby Stick foundation is pretty good, not the best, and the Dior one Forever I loved, but that one's real expensive. So again, I'm pretty excited by that. 9 foundations. This year I got to where I didn't have any more foundations in my stash, so I actually bought a foundation this year, so I'm really pleased with that. You know, some of these were really old, kind of like the Dior or this Dr. Jart one. I know I brought that from Gainesville. I graduated from Gainesville in 2015. So some of these things needed to go, so I'm excited that I made this progress and that now I only have 1 foundation and it's pretty new. I got it a couple of months ago. So there you go. Next, all right, this is really, that's for our Christmas lights. I promise you, this is really well done. All right, so we have concealers. I used up 4 concealers this year. 1 full size, this Maybelline was my favorite one. Then I have the Physicians Formula. This green concealer was pretty good. It's my favorite green concealer, but I've decided I don't think I really need green concealer anymore. This peach one is so dry and gross. I'm just going to throw it away. Kat Von D Locket. I didn't like it, and I don't buy from her. Naked Skin. A lot of people seem to really like it. I didn't love it, and they don't make it anymore. So 4 concealers out. Similar to foundations, this year I used up all of my concealers, so I had to go buy one. And again, I only have 1. I know it's new. And that makes me feel really good about it. So I'm excited by that. For powders, I used up 2. I used up this Maybelline Master Fix, this white kind of setting powder. I love this. I would definitely purchase that. And then I used up this Besame powder, the Snow White. It's got gorgeous packaging, though it is a little worse for wear, as you can tell. I loved this powder too. I thought it was a great one. 2 powders I was a little shocked by. I will say, if you don't know, I do leave for, last year I left for 13 weeks to go up north. Up north just means like up to a biological station where I do research. So while I was there for 13 weeks of the year, I didn't wear a single stitch of makeup. I was just doing science, you know, every day and collecting data, and makeup is just not, it's not really a conducive atmosphere to makeup, so I didn't wear it. So that could be one of the reasons why some of my numbers are a little lower than I'd like, but that's, you know, that's just part of it. But 2 powders is still good, 2 out of my collection. For setting sprays, I actually did finish up 2. I know that at the beginning of this year, this was the only setting spray I had, this all-nighter setting spray. So I used up 2 in 1 year. I used up this all-nighter, which I love, and then the Morphe Continuous Mist, which was okay. I liked the dispensing mechanism of that, but I didn't feel like the spray itself really did anything. I just apparently decided I could throw that away. I didn't need it. I don't know why I did that, but I did. But again, I started this year with only 1. I still, I have a Makeup Revolution one I'm really enjoying right now. I like it probably as well as the all-nighter, and it's, what, I would say a 1/6 of the price. It's like $5 versus like $30. I want to say, I don't remember exactly. So, you know, but I am happy that even with, I only have 1 item or something, I'm still making progress. I'm not just letting things sit and just fester in my collection, which is always the goal. I don't necessarily want a small collection. I'm not a person that's like, I'm overwhelmed, I have way too much stuff. I'm a person that, number one, like just doesn't feel like it's worth the money right now to spend on a bunch of makeup. I just don't feel like it's a need versus a lot of other things in my life, and also I don't want to be wasteful. So I do feel pretty good about that. For blushes, there's nothing, so we're just gonna go on. I didn't use up a single blush this year. I know, I should have, but I didn't. So for bronzers, this is the Lorac Parts of the Caribbean palette. There's the front, and I did have the Lost Soul Lost Soul blush is what it was marketed as, but I'm using it as a bronzer. I used it as a bronzer, and I completely used it up, so I'm counting that as an empty, and I'm excited by that. I used up a bronzer. Again, 1 doesn't seem like that much, but maybe next year I'll use up more. For highlighters, I used up 2. I know some people are going to be like, this is the jankiest thing I've ever seen. But it was just like, you know, one of the little foil samples. But again, I got use out of it. I counted it as 1 in my inventory, so I'm counting it as 1 coming out. It was the Becca Moonstone Opal. So, I feel like this is the worst angle for my hands. Like, I feel like I look like a 5,000 pound person. I'm not. And then I used up this little liquid Jelly Pong Pong highlighter as well. So I used up 2 highlighters. Again, not the best, but pretty good. All right, now we're gonna go on to eye products. So I'm just gonna scooch you on down. All right. So, I used up 5 mascaras, 3 full size. I liked, well, honestly, I was gonna say I liked some of these, but I don't know if that's true. Hello, Hippocampus. Hello. Hello. He's like, hey, did you know that Papa just left? John just left to go do some errands. So I have this Touch and Soul Stretch X. That was fine. Nothing great. This Volume Disturbia by Givenchy I actually got from Influencer. It's bougie, but I didn't think it was anything to write home about. The Essence Lash Princess is probably my favorite. Oopsies. This is the false lash effect, right? Yeah. Of the ones I tried, but I didn't love it. This is the Well People one. I got in a advent calendar for my brother. Didn't love that. And then this is a Too Faced waterproof. I do love Too Faced, but this one just dried up in about 4.5 seconds. So, I don't know. I feel like I just have unrealistically high expectations of my mascara, which is why I'm typically disappointed. Also, all of these little green things, those are pieces of our Christmas tree that has kind of just fallen. We took down the Christmas tree yesterday, so just, I should have vacuumed before I filmed this video, yet I did not. So, you know me, I don't edit my videos typically. That's just not me. I feel like that's a lot, and it just gives you this like unrealistic like idea of who I am. And so this is just real life, y'all. There's Christmas tree pieces. We're gonna vacuum later. My mom's coming next weekend. We're gonna vacuum. We just haven't yet. For eyeliners, I've only used up 1. This was a Sonia Kashuk one. You can see it's in there and I cannot get it out. I do like though, Kanga, can you stop eating the eye stuff? I do like though that with this wooden pencil, you can see that I've used it all the way up and that there's not a lot of waste to it, which is something I'm going to keep in mind for the future about not buying those plastic pencils. That's a lot of waste. If you don't know, I am a scientist, like I've already said. I'm sorry. I feel like that comes up every video. Maybe I'm obnoxious about it. But I'm actually studying ecology, so how everything is related to everything else, pretty much. And the waste is a big thing. Climate change is a big thing. So anything I can do to lessen my part. Some of these things can be recyclable. I've talked a lot on my channel about being a lot more conscious of what I'm purchasing from here on out, and that's definitely something that you're going to see as a change on my channel. But I like that this is a lot less trash than a plastic one. I used up one liquid liner. This is the Nicka K Shimmer Eyeliner in blue. Really pretty. Kind of dried out, but I did use a big chunk of it, so I'm comfortable calling this an empty. Some of my liquid liners just kind of went bad, but I didn't use very much, so I didn't call those an empty, but this one I used quite a bit, so there you go. I used up 2 eyeshadows this year, which isn't great in comparison to a lot of people's progress, but the year before I used up 0, so we're making progress, getting better. This is the Lorac Beauty and the Beast palette. This shade right here is Enchanting. It was like a gold. It's all gone. Everything else in here has pan. So this one's close to being used up. Maybe I'll use them up soon. But you know, like I said, progress. I used up that shadow. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Maya palette. There was this deep brown shade in here, and it's completely gone. So I used up those 2 shadows in a palette. I also used up this one, what is it called? It's a glitter. It's the Stila Glitter and Glow. Similar to the Nicka K. It did dry out, but you can see there's a lot of room in here. I definitely got a ton of use out of this, and again, I'm comfortable calling this an empty. There was one I had to throw out that was not an empty. I only used it a couple of times, so I wasn't going to call that one empty. But this one I do feel like I got enough use out of, and so I love these things. I know that people talk about how they dry out. I've had them for a few years, and they're starting to dry out. And I just love the look of them. However, it really is just glitter, and glitter is just plastic. I've been looking at some biodegradable glitter options for the future, not for anytime soon, but if I do want some glitter on my eyes, there are some companies that are making biodegradable glitter, so that's where I would go in the future, though I do love these Stila ones. I used up one eyeshadow primer. This is the Tarina Tarantino Doll Skin Primer. She doesn't make makeup anymore. I've decided eye primers are not really for me. I don't really like them. I like cream eyeshadows. That's my preference. That being said, I used up 0 cream eyeshadows in the year of 2019. But that's what I really want to go for. So I gave all my other my other eye primers away. So yeah, I don't have any of them, and I'm cool with that. For eyebrow products, let me scooch you on down a little more. I used up these 3. This e.l.f. one is double-ended. I used up one end in 2018 and then one end in 2019. It was fine, nothing great. I love the Gimme Brow. I think it's great. This was just like a one-time use sample, but I like the look it gives me. I have some, naturally I have some brow hairs, and I would say they're pretty decent, but you know, I think the look that the Gimme Brow gives me is pretty good. And then I have the Milk Makeup Kush Brow Gel. It's fine. I wouldn't purchase it again for the price, but it's fine. For lip treatments, so just like chapsticks, this is 7, no 8, 1, 2, 3, no 7. I used up 7. Most of them are, well, 2 full-size chapsticks, and then the rest are like little mini samples. So I used up, or this is full-size too, I believe. 2 of the Ulta Beauty Juice Infusion lip oils. I used up 1 in coconut and 1 in sweet rose. I liked the coconut one tremendously better than the sweet rose, but both of them I felt like I used up really quickly. I know these are samples, but it makes me hesitant of buying the full size. I used up a peppermint candy cane chapstick. I love candy cane chapsticks. Those are my favorite. Though I don't think these are, I'm sorry, I can't look at them through the camera. I don't think this is recyclable, so, you know, I don't know that I'd buy this again. I do like these squeezy tubes have a lot less plastic packaging waste than something like a doe foot, because you have this plastic or this like twisting mechanism that's in a typical chapstick. So maybe this is what I'll go for more. And again, just trying to buy those more natural brands. I have a Burt's Bees chapstick on the go right now, and its packaging is 41% post-consumer packaging, meaning that it's from recycled products. So I really feel much better about that. This Jouer Essential Lip Enhancer was nice, but I don't think it's worth the price. This Hannah Lee one, I've heard people absolutely love it. Okay, we got some more Christmas tree in there. I think it's fine, but nothing great. Jack Black, again, I know people just die over these lip balms. I don't think they're anything to write home about. And then this one is one from an Ipsy a while ago. It's the Epic Blend Hemp raspberry and pomegranate lip balm. Fine. All of these I'd say were fine. These were probably my favorite, these Ulta ones, but I wouldn't purchase them. So, there you go. For colored lip products, look at this. This is just absurd to me. We used up one. I used up this Too Faced Melted Matte. It's a good one. I really liked it. There's a little bit better focus for you. But I'm still kind of bummed that I used up one lip product in an entire year. One colored lip product, to be fair. I have a lot more than one. And if I use up one a year, I've got like 200 years of lip products. Similar to these eyeshadows, if I use up 2 a year, I've got like over 300 years of eyeshadow. So we need to get better about it. You know, I've been on a no-buy for, what, I want to say like 17 months or so, a while. So to me, that means that everything I have has to be getting more use because I haven't been bringing things in, which makes me feel better about it. And you know, it's something I'm going to work on. That's all I can say. But I used up one, and that's good. And these are larger than the average liquid. Liquid lipsticks are already harder to use up. And this is larger than the average liquid lipstick, but I know still, that's not great. Lip liners, I used up one. I know this looks like there's still room, but there's just not. Like, there's nothing left in here. You can't sharpen this anymore because this is like twisty. So I tried. But this is the Urban Decay Ozone. I didn't like it. I liked the idea of it. It's like a clear lip liner. That sounds great in theory until it leaves like a white weird cast around my lips, and I didn't like that. For nail polish, I did use up 3. I used up a Seche top coat again. I decided I didn't need to show you that and threw it away at some point. I love this silver Sonia Kashuk one. She doesn't make nail polish anymore, which is a bummer. It's in what, Smoke and Mirrors, is that right? Yeah, Smoke and Mirrors. It's excellent though. That one's great. And then I used up the Sinful Colors Hottie. This one was not as good. It did come off of my nails really quickly. So I have these two. I know Pacifica makes some better natural nail polishes. I don't know. I still have so many. You know, again, for most of my makeup collection, obviously I've already told you I had to buy a concealer and a foundation and a setting spray this year. But for most of my makeup collection, I still have so much that purchasing is just way far out of my mind. So that's kind of how I feel about nail polish. But when it's time, I will be looking at other options. Again, just forgive this angle of my hand. I feel like I have a normal sized hand. And you can see my ring. I'm going to make a video about being engaged, I promise. I just haven't. But there it is. It's the most beautiful ring you've ever did see, I think. But anyway, all right. And last but not least, yeah, this is last. We have perfumes. So I used up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 perfumes this year. And that's pretty good, I would say. You notice that none of these are a full-size perfume. I don't really own very many full-size perfumes. This English Laundry Parfum one, this one also came from Gainesville. So like I said, I graduated from there in 2015. So it was time. This Poker, and I didn't really like it, and John didn't like it. John usually is very, he doesn't have a lot of opinions about my makeup or beauty, but he did not like this at all. So I would not purchase that anyway. Poker Rabanne 1 million. It's a gender neutral fragrance that I liked. I've got 2 Black Opium samples here. I liked both of them. I don't know that I'd purchase that, but I like it. I really like Flower Bomb. What is this? Elizabeth and James Nirvana Bourbon. Really liked that one a lot. I love Nirvana Black, but Bourbon was good. Givenchy Romance. I don't remember that, honestly. Oh, this Tory Burch. Is this one Tory Burch? Yeah, Blue Azure. Hated that one. It stank. And this is another Flower Bomb Nectar. I didn't like it as well as Flower Bomb Original. So, there is my perfume. And that is all the makeup I used up in 2019. I would say that's pretty good. I'm happy with it. I hope you are happy with it. And like I said, some of these categories I've made some really big steps, in my opinion, in my collection. And I'm happy with that. So we'll just see what happens in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, or comments, leave those down below. And I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.